Hi everyone, my name is Hanife.
My name is Malik.
We are both research laboratory technicians in a department called Histological Sciences in Novo Nordisk, Denmark. And we are here to tell you our story, how we automated a true craftsmanship, a story of being open-minded. So why automation? For us, it was actually a management decision back in 2018 where we should increase focus on these three areas: automation, digitalization, and artificial intelligence. So what it meant was that each department should identify processes that could fulfill one or more of these criteria. So this is what a typical workflow for us was, and this is how automation and digitalization looked like back in 2018. And here my manager pointed out sectioning as a process that has an opportunity for automation. So what he did was kind of a research and ended up with the auto slide preparation system AS410M. And then he reached out to the pathology department in the Herlev hospital. They were and are still very experienced with this instrument. And he got inspired and impressed by the knowledge, so he decided to invest in this instrument. But how did we users react to that decision? Here are some of the statements from us. First of all, we were quite afraid of the maintenance because it's a huge instrument compared to the microtomes we use today. And then it would not be faster than us. It's not either flexible for a research laboratory as ours, and it will cost a lot in consumables. What about the result? Would it be acceptable? And then there were also parts where they were a bit more positive. So it will give less repetitive work, it will have a higher throughput, and it will free up time. So why all these worries? First of all, because we work with in-house processed tissue and external processed tissue. So the in-house processed tissue, we know all information around fixation, fixation time, fixation medium, the tissue processing, and the embedding. And then we have the external processed tissue, which we not always know these parameters. But we all know that bad processed tissue can have a huge impact of the sectioning part. And the second worries we had was because of the methods we use. And here I will especially highlight the in situ hybridization method, the RNA scope method, which is a very specific and very sensitive method we use daily in all our projects. It's a very expensive method, and it's also sensitive for small changes. So this is why we also had our worries. So
how did we succeed in becoming friendly with our new machine? We formed a small group of technicians who dedicated a lot of time to implement this machine in our daily work. We all have a very strong background in histology, so we knew what result we wanted to reach. And then we started off with basic training from Axlab. The contacts we had at the Herlev hospital, we could then use again from their experiences, and they gave us some of their protocols that really helped us getting started on our own tissue. A very important thing that really helped us was that we were very good at sharing our knowledge in the group, so we didn't repeat any mistakes. We chose 2 types of tissues we wanted to make a usable protocol for, which gave us the focus we needed to get a good start. After our initial start and successful protocols, the statements did change. We did experience that it did free up time. We had a high throughput. There was much less repetitive work. The maintenance was easy, not very high. And most importantly, was the results acceptable? And they definitely cost more than working on a microtome in terms of consumables. It wasn't faster than a technician working on a microtome, but it can work at night, so big plus there. Was it more flexible? Maybe not really, but we did learn that you can be flexible in other areas than only on the machine. And an example here was that usually when we work with mouse livers, we have 1 animal per block, and then we would section 2 animals per slides, so 2 animals on each slide. But then we actually ended up with making a larger block, but then with 3 animals in each block, which the machine could easily section. And so in that term, we actually got an easier workflow, because then we ended up with less slides and thereby using less reagents on our studies. One very important thing, we never compromise with the quality we want to end up with. Learnings and successes. We did learn that this machine was very helpful when we needed to section through whole organs, through whole blocks. And we also learned that the slide charge and the adhesive applied to the slide, they could have an impact in our stainings on our outer stainers. So we learned that from now on, we always will start testing the different stains if we change any parameters in the machine, like slides or whatever. It's also very easy to use when you have set up a standard protocol for different tissues, and people can quickly learn how to use it after a short training. That being said, we are still doing a lot of manual sectioning in the department. But now we have an even greater throughput of slides, because we both have the machine and we have the manual sectioning. So it's actually done that we are making even more data than we did before. And a great thing about this machine was also that it's a start and walk away machine.
So what can we conclude from this experience? First of all, it was a successful implementation, requires dedicated efforts and skills. Automated equipment, once learned, courage for more. That's definitely what this instrument done for us. And automation leads to new ways of working. So just being open-minded and not focus on the limits, but also look in opportunities. So I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we become quite a fan of this instrument. It's an instrument that is easy to use. it really has freed up time in our daily work, and the quality is quite good. Even for some blocks, it's even better than doing a manual sectioning. So we will both like to say thanks to all our histology colleagues from Novo Nordisk for being supportive, and all our great network from especially Herlev Hospital and Rigshospitalet, and of course Axlab for a good service and making this experience good and fun all the way through.